Hello and welcome back to TGTV, and more specifically, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to my apartment. Today is actually quite a sad video. I usually say these videos are exciting, but it's a sad video because today I am saying goodbye to a car in my garage. Before I kick off though, I've mentioned before, I'm bringing this video with Skillshare. You all asked me about editing videos, and many of you will know that I've actually used to get my videos edited externally by Mr. Ollie Fawcett. I now edit them myself. Hence I leave some of the bloopers in by accident, whoops. But I am learning, and the learning process is all courtesy of Skillshare. If you want to learn how to edit videos, edit photos, and all the rest of it, creatively wise in terms of social media, commercial media, all the rest of it, Skillshare is the place for you. There's online tutorials, there's loads and loads of stuff. You can start with the basic stuff that I do, the real basic editing, the kind of stuff that you need to put together a vlog, or you can do the real kind of in-depth stuff. There's something for everyone on there. There are thousands and thousands of courses. It is not just video editing. There's intelligent stuff on there like accounting and thousands of other skills. Go and have a little look around, and what's more, using the special link below, there is a 2-month free trial available to you lucky lots. So get in the pot before they kind of postpone the deal and it's no longer available. 2 months free trial available right away. Click the link below and get in the mix. And once the free trial is over, I think it costs about $10 a month, so not much at all. Not much at all. And you can use that to build a secondary income and all the rest of it, much like I do with YouTube. YouTube is not my job. Onwards anyway with the video, it's a good one. Hello and welcome back to TGTV, and more specifically, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to my 1966 Porsche 912, or is it 912? I don't know yet, and I don't even know if it's Porsche. Anyway, I was about to put this on a truck. It's having a lot of work done. There's a lot going on with this car, so I thought I'd better churn a little video before it goes, get some AdSense, and also update you all on exactly what is happening to this car and what I plan on doing with it, because it's going to be away a little while, getting some work done. I'm going to travel over to the garage, do some updates with the car whilst it's being worked on, and also cover any unforeseen issues with the car, which presumably there will be many, of varying expense. So let's have a little look around the car then. I'm going to talk through more specifically what I'm actually going to do to it, because I've got quite big plans for the car, and it's going to be quite divisive what I actually do with it. So without further procrastination, let's get on with the video and let's look around the car and blah blah blah. Oh, asthma. Before we get going then, paintwork. What am I doing with the paintwork? Well then, as you'll notice, and as I pointed out in my video before, the paintwork has seen better days. It's a single layered paint, I think, on all the old cars. I think it's like lead-based paint, something like that. I've been pointed out many, many times. There is little bobbles here, there and everywhere on the car, which suggests there may be some rust under there. There's a bit of cracking there. There's all sorts of bits and bobs. There's a bit of peel in there. All in all, it's not amazing, but the main issue with this car, and the one thing that I do really, really want to sort out, is this patch here. You'll see that there is rust underneath there. The paint has completely come up. It's moving around, and there is some ingress underneath. Whether that focuses, there is some ingress underneath that. Water's been getting under there, and there'll no doubt be a load of rust underneath there. So I'm planning on having that completely sanded back, resprayed, and sprayed kind of sympathetically, painted sympathetically with the rest of the car. I don't want one panel to look new, because that's just ridiculous and the whole thing needs doing. There is also a little bubble of rust here, which I might sort out. I mean, I can feel that cracking there, so should probably get that looked at, to be fair. But that is going to get sorted first and foremost. It looks a lot worse. I mean, it's not great, but it looks a lot worse because there's been tape over it to stop water getting in there. I took that tape off straight away, being nosy, because I wanted to see what was under there, so it now looks like hell. That residue around it does come off, and I've been happily driving around in the dry with that patch on there. I think it adds to kind of the character of the car, really. It doesn't really bother me too much, but whilst it's going for some work, then I thought I may as well get that sorted. Coming around the car then, there's little bits and bobs here, there and everywhere, but I think on the whole I'm going to leave it pretty much original. I mean, this could look nicer. The lettering could look nicer. There's little bits and bobs of like rust all over the place, but I'm not too bothered about that, to be honest with you. Around the back of the car, I think I'm actually minded to leave that. I mean, I realise I've left it wedged up against the wall. This isn't even my car park, I've just dumped it here briefly. Wheels wise then, I think I'm going to leave these alone. I don't really like the rusty bolts. May well get them sorted at some point. I like the centre locks, they've seen better days, but I'm going to leave those because those are original. The wheels, as I say, I will probably leave those alone. They probably could be in a nicer finish. They are looking a little bit tatty, but I will leave that because we don't want brand new wheels on an old looking car. Rubbish. There is one wheel around here somewhere actually. Well, doesn't help. I parked up against the wall. One of them's missing a centre lock though. I will get that sorted. I will stick one of those on. I will scour eBay for a era correct centre lock. And as I said before, some of the fittings around here, that's got rust on it. I'm minded not to replace this unit or any of this stuff. I'm just going to leave it all alone. I mean, that's a little bit tatty as well. I may well tidy that up so it looks a little less rusty, but none of that's getting replaced. It's all getting left. Again with the Porsche badge, if that, yep, there we go. That is very tatty, but that is 53 years old, and I think that just kind of, it's got a lot of character, so I'm going to leave that well alone. I'm not going to replace that either. Lots of you asking about the number plate as well. I will be replacing this number plate with one of my own ones. I might take 2 TGE off the Defender and put it on there, or I may put TGTV on there or one of my other plates, or I may get a new plate entirely. Who knows at this point? But that is the original plate that came in the car. I will be putting that on retention or taking it off, whatever happens, and then I'll be putting my own one on there. If that plate means anything to anyone, slide in my DMs on Instagram, let me know if you want to buy it. Presumably it doesn't mean much to many people, but yeah, it will be coming off the car, so if you want it, let me know. Engine wise, by the way, I mean, we'll open this up when we get into the kind of the mechanics and the restoration place, and they start going through the ins and the outs of the engine. It's actually fairly tidy in there, but I will be getting some work done on that. The engine's actually very, very strong, and the electrics are very strong as well. That's the only strong parts on this car, really. The rest of it's a little bit ropey, bar, ladies and gents, hold on. It's got a modern locking system put on it by the previous owner, very, very clever. The seats are quite good, however, I might chop those out for some little bucket style things, and I'm in talks to get that sorted very, very soon. And I may go tan inside here. Now, audience participation needed at this point. I don't know whether or not I'm going to go full tan inside. I'm tempted to leave it as it left the factory and just get it kind of brought up to scratch a little bit, but this is where it starts to get a little bit tatty. Inside here, there's rips all over the dashboard. There's rips all over here, here. It's missing a 912 badge there. It's got more rips there, I don't know if you can see that. I mean, it's had it. This is a modern kind of Bluetooth player in there. That actually brings me on to another point. I will be getting inside here a full hi-fi redone, but it'll be invisible. It'll be up underneath there, and it'll be completely invisible, but it just means I'll be able to listen to my tunes, and it'll be kind of modern, brought up to date, but you won't be able to see any of it. Gear knob wise, I don't know if you can see that. I have been tempted to get that changed to a branded one. I've seen some with like wooden gear knobs. And steering wheel wise, again, I was tempted to bring that back to the original one or put a wooden one on there, VDM style wheel, like the original car, because this is not the original wheel, although the smaller diameter is actually a lot nicer for kind of pootling around town with. Again, all things I'm going to leave to audience participation. Headliner actually isn't that bad in here. It's not too bad at all, as you can see. It's not drooping down anywhere. It's actually behaving itself, which is quite good. In the back then, back seats wise, it's actually not too bad at all. I would probably leave the back seats well alone. And the rear parcel shelf there is a little bit tatty, so I'd probably retrim that. Door trim as well, I mean, it's seen better days, but I'd be minded to leave that alone. As I say, I want to leave it as original as possible. You've got the original window wipers there, and they actually still work somehow. God knows how that works. And here as well. Some of the sort of rubber around here is a little bit tatty. I'd probably sort that out as well. Get that freshened up. All in all though, there's quite a bit of work to be done, and as I've touched on before, that is just cool. Whatever happens with the retrim, that's getting put back on the dash as well, because that's part of the history of the car, and I will be preserving that. I think then it's time to go and start her up, chuck her on the truck, because Turbo Transport I think has just arrived at this little compound. I'm gonna chuck her on and then wave goodbye, so join me in a second. So the startup process is somewhat laborious. Turn the key, let her kind of sort her life out a little bit. I put the clutch in because I'm just a bit weird. Little dab of accelerator, get some fuel going around. Look at that. And there's a starter button underneath here as well. But she's, first time, look at that. Well done. See, that's what I mean. The car is actually very kind of sound, running-wise. It's not bad at all. I mean, it's a little bit shaky now, but you know, cut us some slack. And these are all the original dials. Very, very nice. And as you can see, sod all mileage on there. 36,851. Spent most of its life sat around. And again, I'm not changing the dials. I will leave these as original if it's even focusing. And this aluminium central panel as well, I will be leaving that well alone. I want to preserve as much of the original spec and the original kind of character and look of the car as much as possible. I mean, I think this is original. Who knows at this point? It's chaos in there. And surprisingly, actually, it doesn't stink, which you would think it probably does. The main smell in here is actually me. One of the cool little features on this car are these little windows. So you can, oh no, you did it that way. Sorry, I stand corrected. And you kind of poke that through. And you can drive around and saying hello. And you've also obviously got the main window as well, with the handles down there. But that's quite cool. If you're a little bit hot, that kind of channels air actually into the car. Quite a cool idea, and modern cars don't do that. Rightio then, this isn't going to be a hugely long video. The car is now with turbo transport. If you don't know about turbo transport, ladies and gentlemen, turbo transport is the best in the game. If you need a car moved around, turbo transport. Anyway, plug over. Hi Tony, you're there, but I'm saying hello to you here. You'll be watching. So the car is now here. It is off to the garage. It's actually off to RPM Technic. So I know I originally said that the car would be going, no. So the car would be going to 912 Revival Cars. They are booked up for the next few months. The car will probably be with them at some point over the next few months, but RPM Technic are going to undertake the work on this car. They are a Porsche specialist, north of London, Hertfordshire somewhere. They're going to take over the car. They do restorations, they also do performance stuff and all things Porsche. They've got a few bays there and a huge restoration team. 912 Revival Cars is very much a specialist, and because of the level of work that needs doing on this car, they need a full bay and they need kind of many man hours, and they don't have many men. So big shout out to 912, they're absolutely great guys. And if you haven't got a 912, go and check them out. But anyway, RPM Technic, the car is off there, and I will be filming there in about a week's time or so when the car's in bits and the car is in progress. So for now then, all there's left to do is say goodbye to the car. We wave at it fondly, goodbye, I'm gonna miss it. I might change the plates over as well when the car's over there, so that'll be very exciting. No doubt that'll be a separate video. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you also for the support you've given me about this car, because I didn't know how this was going to go down online. I thought you lot would hate it, but the love for this car and this sort of car has been absolutely massive. You kind of restored my faith in the YouTube fraternity. I thought you just had to buy Lamborghinis and rev them for people to watch the video. So yeah, thank you very much for that. Anyway, stay tuned, blah blah blah, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye.